Hello there, people of the world. Welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. This is an interesting video for me to make because it's the start of the end of something that has been really important to me for about 8 years now. You see, I've been making these YouTube videos for a long time. Like, it all pretty much started when I was 15 and I would make these random whatever videos of my friend Sailor in the basement, and then it turned into more of like a weekly vlog, and then it turned into Coffee Chats with Jax, and it's been this whole cycle of stuff that's really just kind of acted like a time capsule for my life on the internet. And I've put out a video a week for about 8 years, and it's kind of become a really great spot for me to express my voice and to express myself and what I'm learning and who I am and what I believe and how I feel. I think that's honestly the coolest thing about it, is it helped me find my voice, because I used to be really afraid that I didn't have good opinions, or that I didn't know anything, or wasn't smart enough, or was only supposed to be taught but never actually be the one to say what I thought. And these videos have really been incredible in helping me grow past that and grow into my own skin and learn what I think and what I believe and how I feel. They've shown me that what I have to say really matters. And so this is a bit of a bittersweet video, because I want to tell you guys that I am going to be transitioning my vlog, Coffee Chats with Jax, into a podcast. I'm kind of sad about it because it's the end of an era, but I'm also really excited about it because it's going to open up an opportunity for me to just do so much more. You see, the thing that I love about podcasts is that they, first of all, can be so much longer, because a lot of the topics that we go into, I always want to go so much more in depth, but it's hard to do that in a 5 to 10 minute video. When we're talking about things like sexuality or faith or sexual assault or diet culture, rape culture, mental health, like these are things that deserve a longer amount of time to be talked about. And honestly, I want other perspectives to be shared on these videos rather than just my own. So the idea of having a podcast where I can have guests on to have these conversations with, that's really exciting to me. Because honestly, I would not be able to do any of these videos or have any of this like clarity on what anything even means to me if it weren't for my friends, if it weren't for the conversations that I've had and the people that have spoken into my life. And having people onto my videos, I can do it, but it's difficult, and it's especially really hard for the conversation to go where it should go in a 5 to 10 minute video. So a podcast gives me the opportunity to really go in depth and to have more perspectives onto my show than just mine, because I don't know everything. And you know, the longer I've been making these videos and the longer I've been writing and self-reflecting, the longer I've realized why I want to do what I'm doing. Hence the name change from Coffee Chats with Jax to the Unity Project. So I've had this idea about doing this thing called the Unity Project for a really long time, like maybe 3+ years now. And what I've always seen that looking like is me collecting stories from people around the world. And hopefully one day I'll get to travel and get these stories. But the point of it is to get to know people in a way where we can celebrate how we're all the same, but also celebrate how we're all different. Celebrating individual persons, but also celebrating each person as a people, because we're in this together, and my story is my story and yours is yours, and we have really different experiences. I grew up in Colorado, in America, Western culture, evangelical Christianity world. That's my background. But I don't know what your background is. I don't know what you grew up learning, what you grew up believing, and my experience doesn't automatically make my viewpoints right. That's just not the case. And I think that a lot of the time we get stuck thinking that it does, thinking that our experience and how we were raised is the end-all be-all truth, and it kind of puts up this wall between us and them. And I don't want there to be any us and them. So I want this show that I'm going to do called the Unity Project to break down those barriers. And I want to have people on my podcast and talk about the same things that I talk about in my videos, but more in depth. The same vulnerable topics, a lot on mental health, a lot on faith and sexuality and friendship, and just stuff that I believe we are all feeling, but more often than not, we're afraid to say something about it. You see, when I think back to the times when I truly believe I was at my lowest place, it's when I was hiding inside my own head, and I was afraid that the things I was feeling was just me that was feeling them. I was afraid there's these big issues with me that separated me from everybody else, and it just made me depressed and isolated and scared. And so if anything, I want these videos to be a dent in the fact that that's not true. So I want to kind of be the one that stands in and like takes one for the team almost, and saying how I feel and saying the really vulnerable things about me that I want to prove don't make someone unlovable, that I want to prove don't make someone unfixable and broken and isolated. Being vulnerable is one of the strongest, bravest things someone can do, and I'm still learning that every day. And so I'm hoping in this podcast I can just continue to do that, and I can continue to spread that hope. At the end of the day, that's what I want to do, is I want to spread hope, but I want to do that with more voices than just my own. So I'm really excited to have people on this podcast with me, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I really just want to celebrate humanity, because humanity is beautiful. Your humanity is beautiful, my humanity is beautiful, and if I've learned anything this year, it's that matters. You see, this year I've been calling my year of curiosity. It's where I've asked a lot of questions and I've kind of tried the best I could to get off my high horse in any ways that I was on my high horse, and to stay humble and to learn that everybody has a story and I don't know everything. It's been really special. And I think it's been leading up to this podcast for a while. All that being said, you guys, it's not going to be a right away transition. I'm still going to be doing these videos for a little while longer. When I find out more information on when this podcast is going to be starting, I'll let you know. But know that it is in the works. If you want to be a part of helping me make this stream happen, if you want to be a part of this podcast, be a part of the creative process in it, be a part of my team, my sounding board, if you want to potentially be interviewed as a guest on my podcast, if you want to help me be able to get this equipment and be able to do this for a living and grow this mission and this podcast and this whole journey, then I want to invite you to go check out my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/JackieG TV. I would not be able to do any of this stuff without the people on that page. So thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you who have been there for me for so long now. Like, there's patrons on there that have been donating monthly since I started this whole journey. If you guys want to learn more about that and just be a part of my team, like if this rings as important to you and you want to get involved, patreon.com/JackieG TV. Also, feel free to ask me any questions that you might have about it. You can email JackieGTV7@gmail.com to do so. I would love feedback. I would love questions, suggestions, any and all the things, you guys. I believe that it's an artist's responsibility to tell the truth. That's what makes an artist, and I want to do that, and I'm excited to see what happens. So I love you guys, and I will see you next time.